Hang on 1 second, and I'm rolling, and action.
Well, I was born in France, and I was brought up in England, South London, and kind of discovered soul music and jazz music when I was about 14 years old. There wasn't really much of that music on the radio in England, but you could find it if you discovered pirate radio. And in my boredom of studying for my exams, I slipped off and listened to the radio and discovered a radio station called Radio Invicta, and they were playing really great records, and that's how I really got the bug for music. And from that point onwards, I became more and more passionate about it, started looking for the records and going anywhere to find them, and eventually I bought a couple of turntables, started mixing, you know, playing wherever anyone would have me, you know, normal story, organising parties for under 14s and doing weddings and whatever, you know, and enough to basically allow me to go and buy more records. And you know, it's just gone from there really. And here I am now, 38 years old. I suppose you could say I'm of the sort of Pete Tong generation, and fortunate enough to be around at a time when it wasn't quite the industry that it's become, and so it was quite an open ocean of possibility in this world, you know, that I'm now in. You know, I had a choice actually, because when I was 16 I had trials to be a footballer. I was very into my sport and had trials to play for Crystal Palace and train with them, but I discovered girls and music, and that's what took me away. No, I like to have a good time, you know. I have a family, you know. I have to go home at a certain point in the evening generally, but you know, you'll always have fun with me. Well, the spiritual moments can come, you know, that's for sure, I suppose. I mean, you know, spiritual maybe is a little bit too much of a deep word really, but I think that you can have some great collective moments of upliftment, you know, and I suppose that's as close to a spiritual experience as you're going to get from a DJ, and that doesn't always happen, but you know, when it happens, it's great. You know, that's why I think we do what we do. You know, it's a beautiful thing to be able to make people reach a place together, you know, and get high together. Again, my influences were very much what I'd heard on the radio, you know, and so musically it was. There was a very interesting British funk scene happening with groups like Light of the World and Incognito and Level 42, groups like that, which I would go and see. I had many, you know. I mean, I've had. I mean, one of my worst DJ experiences was playing in a club called Space in Ibiza, which is like a really big, full-on kind of rave club, you know. And I was having to broadcast my radio show from there live to the UK because it was part of the Radio 1 weekend. And I had to DJ after Carl Cox, and that was probably the most traumatic experience that I've ever had in my life as a DJ, because of course I don't play that kind of music, you know, so he had about 1,000 people whipped up to a frenzy, you know, and I had to come on and follow that, which was very difficult. But what made it worse was the fact that it was live on the radio, you know. If it hadn't been on the radio I could have got away with it, but it was pretty bad.
Last question. Can you share some words of wisdom with all your Zouk friends out there?
Love Supreme, John Coltrane. There you go.